Nikola Jokic, the Nuggets' once untouchable cornerstone, is now at the heart of a growing storm. Whispers behind closed doors suggest that all is not well between the franchise and its generational superstar. How do you build around a once-in-a-generation talent like Jokic and still somehow feel like you're wasting his prime? That's a question only team president Josh Kroenke can answer. And he better answer fast. Because if the front office doesn't get it together soon, we might be looking at something no Nuggets fan wants to imagine. Jokic eyeing the door. Can this team rally, reload, and go after another title like they did in 2023? Or are we watching the beginning of the end? Before we continue on with this video, let me just show you one graph that will give you a representation of how much help Jokic has in the current Nuggets squad. In the first 10 seasons of an MVP's career, Jokic has 0 teammates selected to All-Star, All-NBA, or All-Defense, even beating the most infamous player that the media knows in this regard, Kevin Garnett. So, what do you do if you are the Nuggets in this situation? The man just makes everyone around him a much better player, helps with the ball movement, and has been the general facilitator on the offensive end. But when you play with such inconsistent forces like Michael Porter Jr., the worries tend to grow. Jokic said it loud and clear. With the current constellation, we can't win. We didn't win this year. We won't win next year. I don't think it gets any clearer than that. Kroenke, it's your turn, mate. You need to do something in order to keep Jokic happy, because as things stand, he might be preparing for a move elsewhere. Hold your horses. We are not saying he demanded a trade or is considering one. Far away from that. We're just hinting it's going to be a massive headache for the Nuggets if they continue to apply the same philosophy and expect different results. It doesn't get worse than this. Porter Jr., the man who was supposed to be the Robin to Jokic's Batman role, averaged just 7 points on 32% shooting from the field in the entire series against Oklahoma. And even with this horrendous display of talent, the Nuggets took the Thunder in a 7-game series. But that's probably the most they could do with this lineup. I don't think there is much more to be exploited from the current players, hence why the Nuggets should think about trading literally everyone not named Nikola Jokic. Apart from the shooting problem, one that has been emphasized by their head coach, David Adelman, the Nuggets have a big problem with their depth as well. This has been spoken about Jokic as well. He is here stating facts, and if you are the president of the team, you might be more careful to listen to these calls. Truth be told, Kroenke did say that the worries of Jokic are going to be addressed, but he also said that the team is not going to make any major changes to the lineup, which indirectly implicates that the front office believes small changes will lead to big results. If they are in the wrong here, they might as well wave Jokic goodbye. Again, the Serbian big has all of the right to demand a trade, although he hasn't indicated that he's going to do so. After having a tremendous season and becoming the 3rd player in NBA history to average a triple-double during a regular season. 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 10.2 assists. And yet, so far away from a ring with the current roster of the Nuggets. So, what should the next move of the Nuggets be? I think the most rational thing at this point is to trade Michael Porter Jr., because it doesn't really make sense to keep the experiment that turned utterly wrong. Yes, he showed tremendous potential before his injury, hence the belief in the Nuggets front office that he could be the explosive and sharpshooting superstar on their team. But Porter Jr. is not going to reach anything from this point of view, with the downbeat being that the other team saw his biggest vulnerability. He's not a good basketball player when the shots are not falling in. It's as simple as that. Yes, he's shown some great shooting abilities, but against Oklahoma in the semifinals, it was as clear as the sky that the man is limited when it comes to everything that's not shooting. Passing, moving off the ball, setting screens. You name it. There have been improvements in the defensive presence of Porter Jr., but that's far away from enough to call yourself a superstar and earn $38 million in the following season. Who can they trade Porter Jr. for? So far, the leading candidate has been Trey Murphy from the Pelicans, a sharpshooter and defensive stud. But there is a very big question mark as to whether or not the Pelicans would be willing to let him go for the package that Denver will make. Of course, the Nuggets have to give up a couple of their picks in order to satisfy the rebuilding needs of the Pelicans. But they're going to receive Olynyk as well, who is a seasoned veteran and a strong presence on both ends of the court. But with the Pelicans being increasingly second-doubting this trade, the eyes of the Nuggets front office should go a bit more on the South, Miami. There is a disgruntled player who's been playing stunning basketball but hasn't been able to fit in well with the Heat. Andrew Wiggins. After the trade that saw him and Butler swap jerseys, it has definitely been a big question mark as to whether or not he found his home here. Injuries have plagued his consistency and performance, but the general belief is that a change of scenery and better coaching will definitely help him rejuvenate his career. We saw how good he was with the Warriors, and I don't see how he wouldn't fit well with the Nuggets either. Let's not forget that he's going to put other alleged superstars like Jamal Murray on alert. The Canadian currently playing for the Nuggets hasn't really proven that he has what it takes to be a solid number 2 player next to Jokic. And this is where we need to ask the question, will Jokic be better outside of Denver? In order for us to give you a better perspective on that question, we're going to explain a little bit about the Chris Bosh situation back in 2010. The center left Toronto to join Wade and LeBron and form the Big Three, but it wasn't a situation that came to his mind all of a sudden. Bosh had a conversation with another infamous player, a man who had to do it all by himself during the 12 seasons with the Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett. In an interview dating back to 2016, when Bosh was explaining why he did what he did, he admitted that Garnett advised him to move earlier from the environment if he felt that no help was coming his way. That was the career for Kevin as well, who went on to move to the Celtics and win his first championship after the Minnesota stint. The same scenario can be literally applied to Jokic's case as well. As Garnett said, loyalty is something that hurts you at times because you can't get your youth back. Jokic is 30 years old. He's still at his prime, and despite his body not looking all athletic and muscly, he has tons of basketball left in him. If he sees that Denver isn't making any moves to bring some big names to the market, I guess it would make a lot of sense for him to demand a trade elsewhere. Whether that would be the Lakers or a big market team that cares about its players, time will tell. As of now, Jokic has thrown the glove to Kroenke and the front office of the Nuggets. It's up to them to respond properly. What do you think would be the next move of Denver? And more importantly, do you think they will finally trade for a competitive player in their roster and pair him up with Jokic? Let us know in the comments below, and once you do that, make sure to click on the video that appears on your screen right now.